Last time on Cruising Joan Lynn. Tyler and I crossed Lake Ontario and set course for the Port of Whitby in Whitby, Ontario. We found an awesome bike path and pedaled along the Lake Ontario shoreline.
Joan's gonna love this. We gotta come back next year.
We set out on a quest.
We're waiting for our Uber ride
To find a store that sold DVD movies.
99 bottles of beer on the wall.
And we took a train into the city of Toronto where Dad insisted on seeing big fish.
I want to see the really, really big fish.
A heads-up poker match aboard the Joan Lynn and a trip to the Toronto Zoo. This episode of Cruising Joan Lynn.
Let's begin now.
360. I woke up this morning and I said, instead of waiting for a good day to happen, waiting around through ups and downs, I just said, look.
We're gonna have a good day, and all my homies wanna ride today, and all these mommies look fly today, and all we wanna do is get by today. Hey, we're gonna have a good day, and ain't nobody gotta cry today, and ain't nobody gonna die today. You can save that trouble for another day. Hey, we're gonna have a good day.
After a long day in Toronto, Tyler and I slept in the next morning until our urge for fresh brewed coffee became unbearable. The boat was a mess and we had chores to do. However, coffee on deck comes first. Tyler and I started a couple of loads of laundry at the marina and then found a way to pass the time on deck, a poker tournament. The loser of a heads-up double elimination poker tournament would buy the ice cream.
Gotta hold up and run somehow. Tossed at the beginning and tried to look down and work my way out. Been so down about it.
Tyler just won the first game. I have to win 2 consecutive games to avoid buying the ice cream.
My time, you can understand why. Been so down about it. She's gonna give me all the time I need.
I lost game 2, so game 3. Decided to buy this ice cream.
Sounds like a lie when it's not plugged in. Fading around if it starts again. You just don't get a win. I get so down about it. Drop you in so you don't care.
Tyler's in his joy because Tyler just won. I flopped a pair of 5s. Tyler flopped a pair of kings, or queens, rather. Queens. And it was an all-in moment, and Tyler won. Congratulations, Tyler. I'm thinking about all or nothing for a pizza instead.
We made lunch and dinner in the galley and watched the movies we so valiantly searched for until late into the night. After taking a day to do chores, clean up the boat, and hang out at the marina, we decided to treat ourselves the next day to another outing. We biked our way to a nearby ATM to get some more cash, then we made our way to the train station to buy tickets. Round-trip tickets for this train from Whitby to Scarborough, a district of Toronto, costs about $7 American apiece and is a fast and affordable way to get around the Canadian shoreline, Lake Ontario.
Waiting for the 85B bus.
From the train station in Scarborough, we took a city bus
To the Toronto Zoo.
With With the whole day ahead of us, we wanted to get in as much sightseeing as possible and enjoy the big attractions.
They got orangutans who just do their thing. Got birds who can walk, fly, talk, and sing. Got elephants who just swing their trunk. Got seals by the water having fish for lunch. Got snakes who can spiral and crawl the trees. A giraffe so tall looks hard to feed. There's lions, tigers, and bears, oh my. Trainers that feed them and doctors too. All in this place that they call the zoo. Let's go explore.
They have one horn, unlike their African cousin.
After a couple of hours, I became disappointed with this zoo. Many of the animals were not on display for whatever reason. Lots of cages and habitats were either empty or so vast in size and full of obstacles that the animals couldn't be seen. In some cases, to see the animals, the zoo charged extra for using viewing binoculars. The raccoons were on display.
Where are all the animals?
And also many of these. The main attraction was the Panda Bear exhibit. Baby pandas were spending their last few weeks here before relocation, and so we set out to get our money's worth and find them.
All right, so the sign says, regular viewing, May 6th to September 4th. Today is August 29th, I think, something like that. August 9 to 6. So the sign says we should be able to see a freaking panda. We haven't seen much so far. Let's see if we can find these pandas. All right, here we go. All right, we're here, but we still haven't seen any pandas. So there's a sign that says this way, so let's see what happens.
We came across an almost impenetrable crowd at the panda exhibit, but after several minutes of patience and weaving our way slowly in, we decided to look for other things to do in the zoo, since we had visited all 10 animal species on exhibit, but this stuff all cost extra.
Are you ready, guys?
Yeah.
Soared into the sunny sky. The load on the road brings a tear to the Indian's eye. The elephant won't forget what it's like inside his cage.
We are pretty freaking high.
Oh god.
There's the polar bear. It's the closest animal I've seen. Is this gonna go fast?
Oh god.
Alright, it's not that bad.
Goddamn right, it's a beautiful day. The girl with the curls and the sweet pink ribbon in her hair. She's crawling out her window 'cause her daddy, he just don't care. Come on.
We're now coming up to our African savanna.
Goddamn right, it's a beautiful day.
It's gonna be kind of a dull day sitting in the boat, hanging out. Good afternoon. It is 12:15 on September 1st, departure day, and we are pretty well ready to leave. We got everything packed up tight. However, we are waiting for the lake to calm a bit. Forecast is calling for a significant decrease in wave height at 1 o'clock. I've been checking all morning long and I haven't seen much of a change. Winds 10 to 15 knots out there, and the waves are about 2.3 feet. They're supposed to go down considerably, and I'd rather take the calm quick ride than the slow bumpy crazy ride. So, and it's good for the boat. So we're gonna wait and hold out and see what happens at 1 o'clock. We are about a half an hour away from leaving the dock, and I'm just gonna run around the boat and make sure that everything's locked up tight. Basically a little safety inspection, make sure the boat's ready for the lake. First thing we're gonna do is make sure all of our portals are locked tight. And when you go into the head, and we make sure that portal is shut. It is. Make sure the toilet is empty, and it is. And we're going to make sure that the toilet dispenser roll is closed, which it is. And Tyler is going to do basically nothing. We're going to check our electrical panels. Everything looks good. All right, we've disconnected utilities from the boat. Next thing is to start up all my electronic equipment and get that going and make sure that's all ready to go. All right, I'm going to make sure that our course is showing, which it is, and that's the only course showing, so we'll start following something we shouldn't be, and we're looking good. I'm going to turn my VHS radio on, take it off standby mode. All right, the engine started fine and it sounds good. Now we're going to start untying and head to the gas dock now.
It's time we say goodbye. Time not to decide. Oh, don't you feel so small? Dark is the night for all.
Tyler and I had the fuel tank topped off and checked out of the marina at around 1:30 p.m. that afternoon. Whitby was all that we had hoped it would be, a beautiful, quiet place with many doorways to venture through and explore what lies behind them.
Well, the come down here is easy, like the arrival of a new day. But a dream like this gets wasted without you. Under the pressure, it's where we are.
We are just off the Rochester shore right now. We're about 6 miles offshore, and it was one heck of a ride. For the most part, we had about 1.5 foot waves the way here, but there were also some 3-4 footers out there. Canada was okay, but once we kind of were about 20 miles north of Braddock's Bay, I actually had to
slow it down a little bit. Kept the Joan Lynn on plane, but backed her off about 5 or 6 knots just to make the ride a little more comfortable.
Standing in the wake of my pain, and we stare straight into nothing.
We have just entered the Genesee River, and we got to putz our way down to the marina. We'll probably pulling up another 10-15 minutes. Yay, Rochester! I just sent Tyler up to the foredeck to set up for a starboard docking. We reported our arrival to U.S. Customs and took the boat out of the water to be washed and turned around for our final cruise of the summer 2017. Next time on Cruising Joan Lynn. The crew and I keep the Joan Lynn on the inland waters of New York State and take an autumn cruise to the town of Seneca Falls. Hey, bridges. This one looks really close. Yikes. Think I got adjusted? Find out. From Cayuga Lake, we cruise west along the Seneca-Cayuga Canal and through the locks to reach Seneca Falls. As we get comfortable at our dockage along the municipal wall, we find evidence that this beautiful, historic town has suffered economic hardships since our last visit.
A lot of empty shops. It's pretty. It's a pretty town, but a lot of empty shops.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join us next time as we begin to explore this distressed, yet still very welcoming and antiquated town, and discover with us what Seneca Falls has to offer its visiting cruisers. We just got rid of the kids. Thank you, Rec Center.